Today's story is called The Huge Bag of Worries, and it's written by Virginia Ironside. The illustrator of the book is Frank Rogers. The Huge Bag of Worries. This is Jenny. It says, Jenny had always been happy. She had a lovely mum and dad, a great brother, well, most of the time. She had a best friend at school and she liked her teacher. And then, of course, there was Loftus. This is Loftus, Jenny's dog. But recently she had been getting gloomier and gloomier. Now, if you feel gloomy, it means you feel a bit down, you feel a bit sad. It wasn't just one thing that was making her gloomy, it was everything. She worried that she was getting fat. She worried that Loftus had fleas and that her best friend was going to go away. She worried that she was getting bad marks at school and she thought she heard someone whispering about her in the playground. She worried when her mum and dad had an argument, and she even worried about war and bombs. Until one day she woke up to find a huge bag of worries. The bag followed her everywhere. To swimming, to the toilet, and it stuck by her even when she was watching TV. She tried ignoring it, but it didn't work. She tried throwing it away, but it always came back. She tried to lock it out, but when she got back to her bedroom, there it was, waiting for her. It was like a horrible shadow that she couldn't get rid of. What could she do? What do you think? What do you think Jenny could do with her huge bag of worries? She asked her brother for help, but he was busy with his computer game and all he said was, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any worries." After that, she didn't really feel like asking anyone else. She knew that she'd only feel stupid. Mum would probably say, "Oh, you've got no worries that I can see. You're a lucky girl. You've got your health, your friends, your family. What more do you want?" So she decided not to tell her. What do you think? Do you think Jenny should have told her mum? Probably. Mums are really good listeners. Dad might know what to do, but then she thought again, no, Dad had enough worries of his own. She couldn't ask him. Every day things got worse and the bag got bigger and bigger. She couldn't sleep because it kept tossing and turning beside her all night. To make matters worse, the bag dragged around her feet so much when she was walking to school that she was late and the teacher was cross. Jenny couldn't tell her what had happened, and anyway, she knew what she would say. "Oh, you've got too many worries. In the future, just leave that bag at home." When Jenny told her best friend about the bag, she suggested that Jenny lock it up in a cupboard and try not to think about it. "That's what I do," she said. But it just didn't work. Even Loftus couldn't help. He tried his best and barked like mad, but the bag stood its ground. If something stands its ground, it means it stays put. It says, "I'm not going anywhere." One morning, Jenny woke up, got dressed and walked down to the road. She'd had enough. The tears started rolling down her cheeks. She sat on a garden wall and put her head in her hands. She thought she'd have to live with this big bag of worries forever. Who you see here? Who's walking past? I wonder if that person might be able to help. Then she heard a voice, and looking up, she saw the kindly face of the old lady who lived next door. "Oh, goodness," said the old lady. "What on earth is that huge bag of worries?" Through her tears, Jenny explained how it had followed her for weeks and got bigger and bigger and bigger and just wouldn't go away. Oh dear. "Now, let's just open it up and see what's inside," said the old lady. But Jenny said she couldn't. If she opened the bag, the worries might jump out, and then who knew what might happen? "Oh, nonsense," said the old lady. "There's nothing a worry that hates more than being seen. If you have any worries, however small, the secret is actually to let them out slowly, one by one, and show them to someone else. Then they'll soon go away." So Jenny opened the bag. The old lady sorted the worries into groups, just like we do in maths at school. Jenny was astonished to see how small they looked when they were out in the open. So she thought that they were really, really big worries, but actually, when she got them out and told them to the old lady, they seemed much, much smaller. Half the worries disappeared because lots of worries just hate the light of day. They hate being shown. As for the rest, the old lady put some in her shopping basket to deal with herself. Mum and Dad. So the old lady is going to chat to Mum and Dad. She sent some packing because she said, "Do you know what? They belong to other people. They don't belong to you, those worries." Some she just blew a kiss to. "Bye-bye, worries." And some, she said, were worries that everyone had, even Jenny's family, her friends, and her teacher. And as for the bag, kapow! Off it goes. And that's the end. Look, you can see. How's Jenny feeling now, do you think? So remember at the beginning, Jenny was feeling a little bit gloomy, a little bit sad. She had all these worries and she felt like they were in a big bag and they were following her around. She didn't speak to her mum and she didn't speak to her dad about them. She was a little bit too scared to speak to her teacher about them even. And so they just kept following her around. But actually, what the old lady taught Jenny is that she should have spoken to her mummy about her worries, and she should have spoken to her daddy, and she should have spoken to her teacher. So if you've got any worries, you know you can always speak to your mummy or your daddy or any of your adults at home, or you can give me a little message. Your mummies and your daddies have my number now, and you can leave a little comment on the blog if you want to speak to me about any worries that you have, because it's really much better to get them out in the open, and then you get rid of them. All right. Enjoy your evening. See you tomorrow.